There ain't no gold in this river that I've been washing my hands in forever. I know there is hope in these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in this silence, baby. Let me in. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do. So easy on me. For things to change when we are both so deeply stuck in our ways. You can't deny how hard I've tried.
Good morning, mga ga. How's everybody today? I hope everyone had a good rest. I hope na-enjoy ninyo ang inyong araw ng Davao na holiday yesterday and that you are all ready for our activity this morning. So for this morning, we will be going through with our componency seminar. But before anything else, let us begin our day with a prayer. Sir Benj, please lead us.
All right, let us pray. Our most gracious and loving Father, thank you, God, for this day that you have given to us. Thank you for the gift of life. And even thank you, Lord God, for the things that you have given unto us. And Lord, as we will have our componency seminar this morning, we pray for your guidance and protection. Pray for a good connection. Even pray, Lord God, for every one of us to really capture everything that we need to know in terms of the discussion that the speaker will be presented this morning. Lord, without you, we are nothing. Give you praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right. So for this morning, for those of you na hindi masyadong stable yung connection, again, we are live on our YouTube channel at the University of Mindanao Official. So kung medyo choppy yung connection natin today, head on over to YouTube so that you can still have access to our seminar this morning. All right. So hopefully ready tang tanan today because we are going to be learning about very important matters involving our job interview, and that would include how to dress properly for the interview and also how to answer questions in our job interview. But before we get started with our program for this morning, we are going to have a quick game just to see how much you already know about having a job interview. So let me just share my screen with you so that we can start our game. Please head on over to menti.com. Again, we're going to play a quick game on Menti. And then I need you to, give me a moment. I need you to input the code 90194631. Again, menti.com 90194631. And of course, we still have our prizes para sa mananalo sa game natin this morning. Okay, so actually yung mga nanalo last time, they already came here to the office to claim their prizes. So hopefully you guys will be energized to join our game this morning. Again, the code is 90194631. Sige. Let's wait for a couple more of participants siguro, no? 90194631. Okay. Let's have a few more para... Yan. Sige. Okay, there are still some coming in. All right, again, 90194631. Okay, there we go. Wala na sasali. Again, our prize will be merch. So, if gusto niyo yun mag-grab, salig tayo sa game natin. All right, I think we have enough participants. Ayun, meron pang humahabol. Sige, gusto nila ng merch. That's good. Okay, sige, I think that's enough now. Let us begin our game for this morning. So again, pabilisan ko ito ng pag-answer. First question, what should not be worn in a job interview? So color-coordinated attire, flashy clothes and jewelry, or a watch. Again, the question is what should not be worn in a job interview? Pabilisan ko ito ng answer. 2, 1, and the answer is, well, most of you chose flashy clothes and jewelry, and that is correct. All right, so let's have a look at the leaderboard. Let's see kung sino yung pinakamabilis na nag-answer kanina. And that is Mercy. Kung sino man ito si Mercy, keep it up. Okay. Sige, next question natin. All right, question number 2, answer fast to get more points. An applicant who is physically attractive and appropriately dressed generally is rated higher in the interview versus unattractive ones. A, true, interviewers' reaction are strongly influenced by appearance. B, false, the idea is so discriminating. And C, not sure unless one is applying for a modeling job. And your answers are majority A. True, interviewers' reaction are strongly influenced by appearance. Wow, so majority of you got that correct. Let's have a look at our leaderboard. Kung si Mercy pa rin ba yung nauuna? Oh no, I don't see Mercy's name anymore. All right, so at the top of our leaderboard, we now have Razel Burdios. Okay, sige, so moving on to our next question. Number 3. Ulit, answer fast to get more points. Which of the following is not an advisable body language during an interview? First is smiling and nodding. Next, leaning at the back of the chair or resting an arm on the table. Which one is not advisable na body language during an interview? 3, 2, 1. Hands up. Let's have a look. Majority of you chose leaning at the back of the chair, which is correct. So pangit yan, no? Yung parang relax ka masyado, tas interview yan siya. So don't do that. Let's have a look at our leaderboard. Is it still Razel at the top of the leaderboard? Yes, indeed, it's still Razel. So Razel, keep it up. Malapit mo nang makuha yung merch mo. Okay. Next one, question number 4. Again, answer fast to get more points. Your question is for male applicants. The color of the belt should match the color of one's coat or suit, watch, or shoes. For male applicants, the color of the belt should match the color of which one? The coat, the watch, or the shoes? Let's have a look. Time's up. Most of you said the coat or suit, and that is actually incorrect. It should match the color of your shoes. So, kung ano yung kulay ng belt mo, dapat same din ang kulay ng shoes nyo. So, let's have a look at our leaderboard. If may nagbago ba? Si Rizal pa rin ba ang nangunguna? Alright. Okay. Oh no, AJ has taken over the leaderboard. Okay. Next question. I think we have question number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, last question for this morning. Entrepreneurship helps grow the economy. This one is an alternative to self-employment, wage employment, or those who are not interested in taking charge of a business. Entrepreneurship is an alternative to which one? Is it self-employment, wage employment, or those who are not interested in taking charge of a business? Time's up. Majority of you answered self-employment, which is incorrect. Okay, so this is actually an alternative to wage employment. All right, let's have a look at our leaderboard to see who's going to get the UM merch for this morning's session. Si AJ pa rin ba? Let's have a look. There we go. So our winner for this morning's game is AJ Ragas. AJ, are you there? Can we hear from you? Nandyan ka ba?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, AJ. So when you have free time, come over to the office lang to claim your prize, okay?
Yes po. Thank you.
Okay, dokie. Now, sorry. Okay, so now that we are done with our game and warm-up activity this morning, I hope you guys are excited to learn from, of course, none other than the best that we have in our university. Let us welcome our speaker for this morning's session. We have the external Vice President for External Relations and International Affairs, Dr. Ray Castro. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Kate. Kuya Juan, kasi mong best. O yung kaingon sa Jante na, more yung best sa UN. Anyway, thank you and congratulations to AJ. I hope that you had a fun playing the Menti. And if you see in the Menti questions, those are actually prelude of the things that we are going to discuss today. If you remember the first meeting that I had with you, we talk about the importance of preparing a winning application letter or cover letter and resume, and how are you going to ace in your job interview. And these two are very important in your application process, in your search for jobs, especially if the job that you are applying to by the time is the job that you want to have for a longer period of time. And our purpose of offering the Kain 500 is to prepare you for that time that once you graduate, you will look for jobs, and today is going to be another interesting day, session for you, as mentioned by Kate, because we're going to continue our discussion. First, we're going to talk about verbal and non-verbal communications in job interview, because we said, for sure you have learned in our last session that the purpose of your application letter and of your resume is for you to get an interview. And in job application process, your goal there is for you to be able to reach the interview stage, because once you can reach the interview stage, the interview actually is the deciding factor, that's the time where the hiring officer or those who are in charge of selecting the best candidate can have a better chance of evaluating, assessing who among the applicants best fit for the position. All right? So ang pinaka-goal talaga ninyo is that makaabot kayo ng interview. Kaya ayusin ninyo ang pagsulat ng inyong application letter at saka ng inyong resume. Kasi kung hindi siya impressive, it does not conform to the standards and to the interest and expectations of the employer, of the hiring officer or the screening people in the organization. Therefore, the possibility is that your application will be thrown to the waste bin. Di naman na nila taguon, labay na lang sa basura kay. Kung gusto sila mangita na puglaing aplikante na napud sila, they will again announce. They will start to the new one, okay? And then once you reach the interview, then you have to do everything. In case you are in the interview, you have after your interview, you're wondering why you were not hired. Very simple answer. For sure, your performance during the interview does not warrant you to be placed for the position, to be selected for the position. That's why you have to do your best during the interview. Just like in a beauty pageant, in Miss World, Miss Universe, whatever is that, the interview is the last part before the announcement of the winner. So you have been through so many processes, screening processes, competitions, and the like. And once you reach the interview, the final interview, that's where the deciding factor, no, the driver, the how the judges will select the winner. So just like beauty contest, ganun din ang job interview. All right? Okay. So let me share my screen. And at the same time, before we end our session, the last part of our session is that you'll have the chance to participate in our mock interview. We cannot ask all of you to join because of your number and because of our limited time. But I suggest that when we ask for volunteers, volunteer. No, you have to volunteer because the more that you undergo that process, the more that you can develop confidence. Ang importante lang naman doon, class, is that makadevelop kayo ng confidence for a while ha, for a while lang. Ang importante doon is that maka-gain kayo ng confidence, no? So the more that you undergo in this kind of process, no, the more that you face an interviewer, the more that you put yourself into that dreaded and exciting situation where you are being interviewed, the more that you can develop the confidence, the more that you can harness yourself, the more that you can sharpen the saw, no? Kumbaga, may sinasabing sharpening the saw, okay? So don't worry. I don't expect that. Kasi minsan, why is it that we Filipinos, we don't like to volunteer, we don't like to speak in front of many people, even in a virtual modality, just like what we're doing right now, because we don't like to be criticized, no? We are a very emotional people, and once we are being criticized by others, it will affect our emotion, no? We want to hear nice things, nice words from other people. Hindi naman pwede ganon, no? There are really possibilities that as long as the criticisms, the words that are given to you are constructive in nature. So the purpose why you have to volunteer is for me to be able to have an idea on how I will coach you, no? How we are going to coach you and what are the areas that needs improvements. Okay? All right. So we have portion for that before we end our session today, no? There will be chance for you to participate in our mock interview, and we have prepared some questions for the mock interview. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, so let's talk about nonverbal communication. Now, there are two types of verbal communication. Type of communication. One is verbal and the other one is nonverbal communication. Equally important in the communication process, especially in a job interview, is nonverbal, no? Equally important with the verbal communication. So you remember this. There are three sets of cues important in a job interview. One is the vocal, no, the vocal. The second one is physical appearance, and third, gestural or your body movement. So later on, you will know what are these body movement, your gestural things that you need to observe when you're in a job interview. Physical appearance, things that you have to observe also, like what should be worn during job interview, the color combination of your attire also sometimes can influence, no, the perception and the thinking and the line of questioning of the interviewer, no? All right, ngayon naka-associate na ang color sa politics. Minsan pag nagsuot ka ng ganitong color, sasabihin nila, oh, ang ano mo, ang political nature mo or ang choice mo for candidate is like this because that's the color that you are wearing, no, 'di ba? So ganun ka ang mga Pinoy ngayon, no? Ka very passionate in the politics, all right? The other one is, of course, the vocal, no, the voice, the tone of your voice, all right? So, um, the evaluation of your nonverbal communication starts as soon as you walk into the company's lobby and continue until the interview is finished. So, if you're in a face-to-face interview, if you're in a on-site interview, no, and then you need to, of course, go to the office of the company, no, once you are there in the lobby, you have to, observe, you have to take extra care, because in most cases these companies have installed CCTV in their lobbies or in a particular room where all the candidates are asked to wait for their turn for to be interviewed, and the team of interviewers are in a separate room, and while you are waiting for your turn, they're making observations of your, mannerisms, of your nonverbal communication while you are waiting your turn to be interviewed. So you have to be careful, you have to take extra care, no, of your nonverbal communication the moment that you enter into the company's premises. If your nonverbal communication skills aren't up to par, it won't matter how well you answer the question. So even if you're even if you're spontaneous, even if you deliver a very nice answers, but your nonverbal communication speaks otherwise, then wala pa rin, X ka pa rin, no? All right? So dapat kumpleto 'yon. Magaling ka sa verbal communication and magaling ka din sa nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication, why is it that is important, no? Nonverbal communication is driven by someone's emotional state and instincts. So that's why if you are not comfortable, if you are intense during the time that you're in an interview, especially if it's a face-to-face interview, makita na, no, nagkurog ka, medyo tense ka, and the like. And if that is very apparent during job interview, what impression you're trying to show to the interviewer that you are not confident, no? So normal na siya, makulbaan ka, magkurog ka, or what, dili ka spontaneous, no, mautal-utal ka, something like that. In short, dili ka confident, wala tay mahimo ana. So because there are other applicants who are more confident and who have given best performance than you, then X ka talaga, no, sa application. So how you're feeling, like nervousness and not very confident, you'll be more likely to fidget and avoid eye contact. So these are the things that we notice to our applicants, to our graduates when they are faced in a job interview. And why? Because when you're still in the university, you are not used to that. You are not used to facing other people. You are not used to communicating. How much more in your generation? In your generation, ngayon, di ba, kung mag-graduate kayo, kayo yung first batch ng senior high school, at saka maalala ninyo almost more than 2 years na, no? More than 2 years that your social exposures were limited, di ba? Because of the limitations in the mobility, in the travel, no, in the people going out, there are many limitations and the like. So napakonti yung ating mga exposures ngayon, and it has also waned, it has also diminished the quality of our social life, all right? So we communicate other people through our social media, through our gadgets, through our cell phones and computers and the like. So I do not know for sure, there are effects in our social index, no, in our social life, no, in our social relationship with other people. So the thing there is that communication, probably because of that, the verbal communication and face-to-face communication has also waned because of the situation, the challenging situation that we are in right now. And I think it's not good. No, it will not give any positive attributes or positive effect to us people, no? All right? So you have to be confident. You have to do something for you to be able to raise your confidence in communicating, in speaking with other people. If you remember last session, I have shown you a survey, di ba, of the skills that employers are looking for And rank number 1 in the survey is communication skills. And when we say communication skills, it's your ability to speak, it's your ability to communicate and discuss the things that probably, the topic that's going on. If the topic is something about, something about Ukraine and Russia, then therefore you have a good knowledge about the situation, about the history, and many other factors, many other facets that you can discuss with. You know what I mean? So you have the ability to communicate well. When a message and when an information is thrown at you, you have the ability also to, share your ideas. All right? So that's what do we mean by communication. Dili kay nga ka ba, lutang moment, alam mo yon, yung pitok-pitok ang mata, maski unsa na lang pataka na lang ka istorya. That's what they mean by communication, all right? Your ability to process the information and say something and situate your arguments, your point of view in the discussion, all right? Okay. The interviewer's reaction, teka ha, kasi naka-ano. The interviewer's reaction to job candidates are strongly influenced by the applicant's appearance. No? So appearance matters a lot. I remember when I was, every time that I'm in an interview, when I applied for visa in various embassies, every time I travel, or in many occasions where I have, interview, I have formal talks, no? Because since I'm in charge of the international affairs of the university, so during pre-pandemic, I have traveled a lot and I meet many people, people, professionals from different walks of life, my counterparts from other countries and the like. The thing there is that other countries, no, people from other countries, especially those in Europe and in the North America, like in Canada and in the US, they have, I do not know, no. I mean, let's accept the fact that they really have discrimination to some Asians, like Filipinos. There's an impression that when Filipinos travel abroad, Filipinos travel abroad for work, all right? So, may discrimination sila na medyo hindi ka namin ka-level. And for you to be able to catch their attention and for you to be able to communicate with them in a very professional manner, the first thing that you are going to ensure is that your physical appearance, that you dress well. Tayo pa naman mga Pilipino, hindi tayo mahilig yung mga suit, di ba? Wala tayo niyan, no? Kasi unang-una mainit ang ating bansa. Pero if you go to Malaysia, if you go to Indonesia, mainit din ang kanilang countries, no? If you go to Singapore, they really they dress themselves properly, no? And professionally, all right? Tayo, may uniform tayo, yung mga ganon, all right? Studies show that persons who are attractive and appropriately dressed generally receive higher ratings than ones judged to be unattractive or inappropriately dressed. That's why my suggestion to you, Kain 500 students, is that please moment you start investing in a nice clothes. In a nice clothes that are ready for your job interview and ready for your transition in your workplace, in your new workplace, all right? Because your attire and physical appearance speak a lot about yourself, about your ability and about your perception in life, no? Okay. Ako, every time I travel in the airport, ma-assess mo yung tao na ma-assess mo yung tao na kumbaga ito yung na-achieve niya sa life, yung kanyang socio-economic status in life. You can initially have an assessment of that person based on how he or she looks, no? The way that, he wears something, okay, all right. An interviewee must be credible. In order for him or for her to form a positive impression, they must have self-confidence, attitude, and positive personality traits. That's why hindi pwedeng nga, no? Hindi pwede lutang when you're in a job interview. Dapat ipakita mo that you're confident. Dapat ipakita mo that you have broader and deeper understanding of what is being talked about, of what is the question all about. You see, in a presidential debate, why is a debate for politicians, for those who are running for national office, really important, because that's where you can see candidates who are more prepared, no, who are more ready for the job, for the position that they are running for. You know what I mean? So that's how important debate, presidential debate, vice presidential debate, or senatorial debate, no? So politicians have to take it seriously, because if you are a voter who is not yet final in your decision, the debate can help you select the best candidate, no? Based on how ready and how good is his take in a particular issue or in a particular topic, and where he situates himself, no, in the discussion and in the arguments. All right? Okay. So it says here that human communication consists of 65% nonverbal, 35% consists of words. So nonverbal communication accounts for greater percentage in the human communication versus verbal communication. So that's how important it is, no? So you have to observe. You have to take note of the what are those nonverbal communication. So nonverbal communication are one, facial expressions, your frowning, your whether you're smiling or what, no. I do not know if you notice that sometimes no, may mga tao na wala talaga kasalanan sa buhay natin, no. But once we see them, nasisira ang araw natin, 'di ba? Parang ayaw natin siya makita. I do not know if you have experienced that. Some of you have that feeling also to some people. Yung mga ganon, alam mo yon, yung mga may mga taong makita mo ang mukha nila, it seems that they radiate negative energy. All right? So I think that's one thing that we have to develop and learn from ourselves. We have to find out whether when people see us, are we radiating positive energy or negative energy? No? So facial expressions also matter. No? It matters a lot. The tone of your voice, no? So merong mga voice na professional sounding voice, meron din mga hindi na once marinig mo ang kanilang mga boses, no, tingling masyado, talinis, saba dako kay tingog or something like that. All right, so maybe what you can do is that you can record your voice and listen to it, and tapos ikaw mismo paminaw nimo, no, you judge by yourself whether ikaw mismo ganahan ka ba maminaw sa imong boses or dili, no? Your movement, your appearance, no, eye contact and gestures. All right, we're going to talk more on this in the succeeding slides. So what are the advisable body language during job interview? First, you have to make eye contact with the interviewer for a few seconds at a time, both if you're in a virtual, no, or in a face-to-face job interview. You have to maintain eye contact. And in a virtual interview, you only have to find where is the camera in your gadget, no, and you have to maintain your eyes in the camera for you to be able to feel that, for the other person and the other side of the world in a virtual platform, thinking that and receiving the impression that you're always looking at his or her eyes. All right? Okay. So find out where is the camera. Ayaw ka magtanaw dito sa imong naong, no, sa screen kay. The tendency there is that di ka na nakafocus, no? All right? Smile and nod at appropriate times when the interviewer is talking. Do not laugh unless the interviewer does first. Don't slouch, no. Relax and you lean forward a little towards the interviewer so you appear interested and engaged. So when you're in a face-to-face interview, and you're sitting in a chair, then you lean forward a little. Do not lean your back, no, because you will look too casual and relaxed. And in that case, it seems that you're in the same level of position with the interviewer, where in fact you're not. No, you have to accord some respect of the interviewer in terms of position and of his or her achievements in terms of career. No, all right. Keep your feet on the floor and your back against the lower back of the chair. You pay attention and you have to look interested all the time. You listen, do not interrupt. You stay calm even if you had bad experience in previous job interviews. You keep your emotions to yourself. No, do not be so emotional. You will be asked why you want to apply in our company, and then you are going to tell the interviewer that your father has lost his job during the pandemic, and your mom is a full-time mom, and then you have six other siblings, and you're the eldest, and they're now dependent upon your chief support, and that you have read in the vision, mission, and in the corporate social responsibility statement of the company that they want to help the destitute and the marginalized, and that's why you are there. Oh, my goodness, I mean, I said we Filipinos are so emotional. Sometimes we attack through emotion by touching other people's emotion. It will not work in a job interview, because in a job interview you really have to sell your competence, your abilities, and by touching the emotion, attacking the emotion of your interviewer will never work. All right, okay. Not sure what to do with your hands, you can hold the pen and notepad, so that in that case you look like you're genius, you're smart. All right, or rest an arm on the chair or on your lap so you look comfortable. Don't let your arms fly around the room when you're making a point. Okay, so let's talk about the suggested attire, and why these are the more appropriate attire when you're in a job interview. All right, okay, here we go. You can, for the guys, let's start with the guys. You can work with colors and layers. Gentlemen, Kain 500 students, you're in an iGen. And there's an impression that in your generation, you are those kind of people who are fashionable. You have taste for fashion and style. You know what I mean? Because access to information are right at your fingertips, all right? And you are updated with what's in and out, no? What's going on. And in fact, sa henerasyon ninyo nauso yung OOTD, all right? Official, ano yan? Outfit of the day. Parang gano'n, no? Ay, hindi ko alam, nalimutan ko yan. But anyway, so in that case, because there's an impression that your generation, you have taste for fashion and style, then that's gonna be the time for you to flaunt that, to show that to your potential interviewer. That once you have your taste for fashion and style, you're a person who is so conscious about trend, about many, many things. You know what I mean? Broader things and broader perspective. And in that case, you're showing that the way you wear. I mean, the things that you are wearing the time that you're in an interview. So you can work with colors and layers, make it sure that colors are coordinated with each other. All right. Anyway, you're familiar with the color wheel, no? The basic color wheel, and that you can find there the best color combination that fits your personality. All right, because after all, what you're wearing and the color that you have speaks a lot about your personality. The other one is that if a job interview happens on a rainy season or in a colder months, just like what we're having right now, it's very cold in the morning, and it's rainy, and if the job also requires you to move a lot, you hop from one place to another, there's a need for you to travel, then you can wear sweater and button down. Because why is that? Because this attire shows that you're the kind of person who is always on the go. All right, always on the go. So it's easy for you to travel. You don't need to wear something that's for office, because again the position requires you to move a lot. And by wearing an attire like this, or wearing an attire that represents that kind of job, the requirement of the position, you are trying to say to the interviewer that you have better grasp of the requirement of the position. You know what I mean? All right. I hope you get my point. So that's what message you are trying to imply to the interviewer. Navy blue blazer. If the job requires you to stay in the office most of the time, if the position requires you to meet, no, most of the time, the senior leaders of the organization, those who are in the top position, you know what I mean? then therefore you have to be so corporatist in your look, no? You have to be so corporate. But again, corporate looking ka, but do not compromise your generation. That again, in your generation, you have taste for fashion and style. So why blue? Again, because there's an impression that your generation, you guys are not loyal. All right? Ang henerasyon ninyo hindi loyal. Millennials and iGen, kayo yung hindi, you cannot be placed in a nook for so long. Alam niyo yon? I have known a lot millennials, no, that they don't stay in a job even if how exciting the pay, no, they don't stay in a job for long time. Matagal na masyado ang 3 years, 4 years sa kanila, palipat-lipat sila, no. So kaya nga nauso sa inyong henerasyon ang kasabihang hashtag walang forever. Dahil kayo yung henerasyon na hindi masyado loyal. Sorry ha. Kaya why blue? Because color blue represents loyalty. No? Pag gusto mo ipakita na loyal ka, gusto mo meron kang perception, meron kang feeling na, or gusto mo ipalabas na gusto ko magtagal sa company na ito at sa work na ito, then ipakita mo na loyal ka. So that's why blue. All right? Okay. And the nice thing about blue is that you can match that with different colors of a pants. Like in this case, in the photo, you have seen this guy wearing yellow. Is it a yellow pants? No? All right? Okay. So you will look fashionable. Fashion with style in this case. No? Casual button down. This one is a very safe attire. You know, you are not sure whether the job requires you to move a lot or stay in the office, no, or be so corporatist and the like. Then you can wear casual button down. I mean, you're always in the safe zone if this is the attire that you are going to wear. All right. Okay. Very professional, very neat looking. Again, you are also trying to show an impression that you are ready for your career, no? For you are ready now for your another chapter of your life, that you're entering into a more mature stage of your life. All right, or you can go back to basics, just like, you know, black and whites. So generally for the guys, you can wear suit, no, because the wearing suit will bolster the professional look in you. It will give so much impression that you're the kind of person who are really preparing for the position and that you are really interested of the interview and most likely of also of the position. No? So you wear solid color because solid color gives so much message that you are in authority of the position, of the requirement of the position, and that you are loyal. You are trying to show that you're a loyal person, right? And when you're wearing a suit, dapat long sleeve talaga yan. Kasi 'di ba merong standard na maglampas yung long sleeve sa suit, no, na mga an inch, all right? Then wear a belt, tie, dark socks, and then wear a conservative leather shoes. Hindi na pwede yung mga sneakers ka lang, no, mag job interview, hindi pwede yon, no. Little or no jewelry. Guys, what do you mean? What do you think is the most important jewelry for the guys? Sige daw, chat nyo daw. Ano kaya pinaka-importante na jewelry for the guys? Be, na isuot. May chat ba? Hindi ko makita ang chat, no?
Yes, sir. Marami na pong nag-message. Majority of their answers is a watch.
Okay, correct, no? Watch. That's correct. In fact, unang makita mo, aside sa attire, ang isa talaga na pwede mo ma-assess ang character at saka ang status at saka ang personality ng isang tao is yung kanyang relo, no? So, I also suggest that aside from investing in a nice attire for your interview and in your transition in the first few weeks working in a company, in case my uniform sila na requirement, is also a watch. No, investing in a nice watch must be a thing, no, for you, no, for those who will be entering into the world of work. Neat professional hairstyle, you limit the aftershave, neatly trimmed nails. And for sure the ladies would agree with me if I would say that guys with untrimmed nails are so yucks, are so dirty looking. Paminaw na ko ang mga tao no nga kanang mga uncut, mga lalaki na mga uncut ang mga nails, kanang bitukon, hugawan gani. Kanang basta hugaw gid siya sa ako ang pananaw, no? Kanang mga kuko nga wala mga ginapang nail katiran, no? Okay? So dapat trim ang nails, all right? And then you can bring portfolio or briefcase, okay? For the ladies, these are the suggested interview attire. You can wear sweater and black dress pants, no? You can also experiment with button down. Ito mga attire na ito, just like the guys kanina, if the job requires you to move a lot, no? Yung kailangan mo mag-travel and you want to show that you're a person who is always on the go and that you know the requirement of the position, then yan, no? Yan yung maisuot niyo. Pareho din no sa mga lalaki kanina, kung ang trabaho mo requires you most of the time to stay in the office and face the bosses, no, mga pinakamataas na position, then you have to be corporatist in your look, no. So the corporate style is that blazer ka talaga, no, and then blue again because henerasyon niyo yan no, na hindi kayo loyal, hindi kayo nag-i-stick sa isang lugar, hindi din kayo nag-i-stick sa isang tao, madali kayong magsawa. Kaya nauso sa inyo yung mga quick chow, yung mga fast food, mga Jollibee, mga McDo, kasi gusto ninyo mga madalian na lang, 'di ba? Mga madali ang panahon, no? All right? Okay. Button down and V-neck sweater, especially if the job happens during cold days, cold months, like what we are experiencing right now, no? All right. Statement dresses if you're in a marketing and sales. You ladies, if you're in a marketing and sales, you have to be so feminine looking, no? And statement dresses will help you in that regard, because wearing dresses like this will soften the feeling of your clients, no? So pinapakita mo na ready ka and alam mo yung the psychology of colors and attires. Kaya yan ang sinuot mo during the job interview, okay? Print cardigans for those who are in a position, in a career that's very technical in nature. For example, mga engineering, architecture, di ba? Di naman nila kailangan na very corporate sila masyado. The color black kasi there speaks about authority, speaks about technical knowledge and technical know-hows, no? So ito kasi yung mga profession na highly technical in nature, that requires so much competence, yung ability to manipulate a machine or an equipment or something like that. Then the color black or its representation speaks about knowledge, competence, and authority in that field, okay? Same thing with black dress and tights. All right? Okay. So those are the suggested attire for the ladies, no? Let's talk about entrepreneurship before we proceed to our mock interview. I know that you are very excited na we proceed to the mock interview, but let's talk a little about entrepreneurship because some of you have requested that what about those who are interested of putting up their own business, no? The nice thing about entrepreneurship is that, well, there are two types of employment, no? One is wage employment, yung mag-empleyado ka, mag-work ka sa isang company, and the other one is self-employment. There's nothing wrong with that, no? In fact, maganda nga yung self-employment because of the abundant supply of labor we have in the country because of our population. there's a struggle of many of those who are graduates who are looking for jobs, no? So that's why it would be nice if you have the financial capability, and if you have the technical know-how, you can start your own business. For those of you whose parents are businessmen, no? Although I know sa segments ng students ng UM, hindi ganon kadami ang mga parents ninyo ay mga negosyante, no? Because if your parents are businessmen, um, they will not send you to UM. They will send you to a more hefty priced schools, no? Or universities like Ateneo, for example, or UIC, for example, no? Or if you're into medical courses, then you go to San Pedro, which tuition fees and miscellaneous fees are much higher than UM. So in case you have the financial ability and the technical know-how, then you can start your own business. No? And that's entrepreneurship. And the nice thing about entrepreneurship and running your own business is that you're your own boss. No? You're working for yourself. You manage your own time. No? You manage yourself. You manage people. And you help other people find employments and earn income. All right? Rather than ikaw yung dagdag problema sa society dahil wala kang trabaho. Okay? All right. So, we have here a checklist and attributes of an entrepreneur, and find out if all of this are present in you. Therefore, probably entrepreneurship and starting your own business and running your own business and be like Henry C, no? Be like Manny Villar, ano pa, Ramon Ang, no? The Pangilinans, pwede ka mapareho sa kanila, no? Okay? All right. So one is risk taker. Ibig sabihin ng risk taker, ikaw yung tao na regardless what will be the consequence of your actions, no? You'll take it, no? Because you are driven by your goal, by your objective, a clear objective. So if you fail, I mean, it's nothing. I have to learn from my mistakes. If I will not be successful in my endeavor, then I'll take it as a lesson also, as a years of me going to a university. You know what I mean? So, kayo dapat in 500 students, kayo yung mga taong mataas ang risk index ninyo, no? Kasi you have nothing to lose. Bata pa kayo. Take advantage of that stage of your life. Nakikita ko kasi, karamihan sa mga henerasyon ninyo, concern na kayo talaga of kanang magiging successful kayo. Alam nyo yon, meron na dapat kayong career. So, maalala ko, henerasyon ko noon kami when we were in 20s and even in late 20s, ano pa naman kami, no? Ini-enjoy namin ng life. Iba ang priorities namin. Sa aming panahon, hindi pa nauso ang quarter life crisis. Ngayon, uso na. When you reach the age of 24, at least 24, 25, 26, meron ng mga sinasabing quarter life crisis. Noon, ang meron lang midlife crisis. When you reach the age of 40, saka pa nagsisimula yung sinasabing crisis, midlife crisis, no? Struggle ka, sometimes you question your existence. There are many things that you question about life, about world and the like, no? 40s pa, 20s noon, wala pabanjing-banjing pa, ana-ana. Karon 20s pa, no? Mid-20s na anay quarter life crisis. Maubo ito na nauso ang term quarter life crisis, no? I mean, I do not know, baka dahil yan sa mga Jollibee and McDo, fast food, pero hindi ko alam, no? I do not know what psychologists have said about it, but kayo dapat yung risk taker, no? Explore. You explore the world. You're willing to work hard, no? You don't count that every minute you must be compensated on that. No. You count the experience. You count the exposure. You count the intrinsic value that you will get out from the thing that you are doing. All right? You are passionate about pursuing a business idea. And when you say about business idea, di pwede ng sari-sari store, no? Na kanang maninda kas tindahan, ana-ana. I mean, there's nothing new about that. All right? When you're an entrepreneur, you engage into something that is new. I mean, it does not mean that it's exactly new, entirely new. you may, for example, do some tweak kung halimbawa you're in an existing business, no? Ang business nag-exist na, then you put something different on it. Like for example, you want to open a coffee shop, no? Ang coffee shop mo iba, meron siyang different compared doon sa mga existing na coffee shop. Kaya nga siguro nagta-thrive ang green coffee. Why? Because ang green coffee lang sa lahat ata ng mga coffee shop ang merong wifi connection. So, click siya doon sa mga estudyante, yung mga kailangan ng mga wifi connections. Because if you go to Starbucks, if you go to Tom and Tom's, if you go to Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, walang ano doon, walang internet connection. So, iba ang green coffee. Yun ang kaibahan niya, di ba? Okay. Not afraid to lose money, time, and face. So, yun yung sinasabi nating risk. If you engage into something else and that you fail, it's fine. No? But hindi po pwede sabihin na, okay, sige, fine lang naman, sabi ni sir. Hindi. Pwede ka, fine, nagkamali ka nung una, okay. Pero kung nagkamali ka pangalawa, nagkamali ka pangatlo, sabi ni Juliana, pang-apat, hindi sila ang may problema. Baka ikaw. Dahil pabalik-balik ang mali mo, 'di ba? So mag-assess ka sa self mo. All right? Physically and emotionally able to withstand the pressure. I do not know if you have seen the sentiments, no, yung sagot ni Juliana kay Angelica Panganiban, all right? Diba? Nagkamali si Angelica nung una, nung pangalawa, nung pangatlo, 'di ba? So dapat na daw siya, no? So sabi ni Juliana, hindi sila ang may problema, baka ikaw. Dahil ilang beses ka na nagkamali and same mistakes, no? You can envision the future. You know how to sell and market products and services, and you can handle money well. Test mo sa sarili mo, splurge ka ba? Or ikaw ba yung really, you can really manage your resources well. Alright? So these are the checklist. No? Tingnan ninyo, assess ninyo inyong sarili kung lahat ba ng qualities na ito are present in you. Therefore, entrepreneurship is for you. Okay? So ayan, what does it take to become an entrepreneur? You assess yourself, you study the business you want to go into, you ask advice and you ask for help. You associate yourself with people who are successful businessmen. You know what I mean? If you want to be in that field and if you want to be successful also in that field, you surround yourself with those type of people, no? Do not surround yourself with people who have not achieved anything in life because mahawa ka talaga sa virus nila, 'di ba? Yung mga victimitis virus, failure virus, no, 'di ba? Mga undisciplined virus, 'di ba? Yung mga audacity virus, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. Do not surround yourself with people who are like them because the tendency is that you will absorb their qualities and their characteristics, no? So if you want to be successful in life and in your chosen career, therefore you surround yourself with people who are like you. I mean, who are like with the same boat in you, in your thinking and in your ambition. Okay? All right. Problema ngayon, funding. Huwag problemahin ang funding, no? Kasi maraming microfinancing. You can go to, a microfinancing is a support for those who are interested to be entrepreneurs. So how are you going to get access on this? You can go to different government agencies like Department of Labor, Department of Trade and Industry. In fact, I know that Department of Science and Technology, they also have programs for entrepreneur, no? You can go to City Hall. There's a department for that who can really help those would-be entrepreneurs, no, 'di ba? So the thing there is that ready ka lang talaga, may idea ka, may concept ka, meron kang konting capital, no? Hindi pwede zero, 'di ba? Meron ka din dapat share or ang ginagawa ng iba, hanap sila ng friend, tatlo sila, no? And then mag-contribute sila, start sila ng kanilang sariling business. All right? Okay. Ayan, sabi ko sa inyo, there are some government institutions that have program for aspiring entrepreneurs. Okay? All right. Pag ingon ana gani ka, entrepreneur ka, dapat dili mo halo-haloan og mga binuang, di ba? Mga lingag-lingag na mga binuhatan, okay? Dapat seryoso ka sa imong career, diretso ka, no? Alam mo talaga ang direksyon mo sa buhay mo. Di kay namang uban kita ba Pinoy mga lingag-lingag puta usahay. masiwang punta, no? Okay, maliso po na itong turnilyo ginagmay. Anak, gani. Kabalo mo sa akong ginapasabot, no? Diba? So, kung kana kwarta na nimo sa negosyo, kwarta gina nimo sa negosyo, dili nimo siya haluan sa binuang, maski unsa, no? Kanang kiat-kiat, 'di ba? Mga inana. No, dapat ano ka gyud. Diretso ka because you sow, tama yung sinasabi na you sow what you reap. You reap what you sow, no? Sorry. You reap what you sow, no? So kung ano ang tinanim mo, yun din ang anihin mo, no? So kung nagtanim ka ng mabuti, naging hardworking ka, naging seryoso ka, all right? Of course, you will be successful, no? You are most likely be successful. Pero kung medyo naglingag-lingag ka, gihalo-haloan mo siwang-siwang, all right? Wala. Well, what do you expect? Alangan naman magic, diba? So let's now proceed to the mock interview. But before that, some reminders, pointers for our job interview. No, one is that interview questions can be simple, object, mirror, and unconnected. Actually, questions in a job interview are divided into two major parts. If you learned last time, there are three, diba? One is questions about your ability, your competency, your knowledge about the position. So when you are asked, when the intention of these questions is to test about your ability, your knowledge, therefore, you have to answer in such a way that you have to relate your experience, your character, your personality, what attributes you have, you possess, which you think are necessary in the performance of the job, diba? The other one is a test, the question about test your readiness, test about your motivation, test about your personality, all right? What kind of people you are, your perspective in life, no? Whether you are mature, polite, or yung concept again, impression again of your generation na audacity, yung alam mo yon, ang henerasyon ninyo, meron kayong sense of entitlement. Kung makayaw-yaw mo sa social media, feeling ninyo that you know everything in this world, all right? Okay. In interview, there's the rule of three. Tinan nyo sa social media, sinong maingay, di ba? Henerasyon ninyo, yung mga henerasyon ng mga successful ng mga tao, di ba? They don't talk a lot about something in a social media. They just keep it to themselves, you know? It's a Sancho art of war that you have to keep your ace in yourself. Do not show everything. Your ace to the world. You have to keep your ace, all right? So again, in interview, there's the rule of three. Brief, you have to be brief, no? You have to be articulate and spontaneous and try to have your own structure, because the thing there is that if you don't have your own structure, then the tendency of you going around the bush. Where is your answer heading for? Diba? So try to have your own structure. Practice that. Are you more comfortable using a deductive or an inductive style, which means that when you respond, you start with a general idea and then you cite an example and then you relate that to the position? Or you're a person who is comfortable by reversing the style. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong about any of those styles. The thing there is that you try to master your own style, no? Your structure. In a job interview, you're in a marketing, you're selling yourself, you're proving yourself, that you're proving to the interviewer that you're the best candidate for the position. So in doing that, you address what are their needs, what are their requirements, what are their expectations. You can only do that if you have studied well the company and the position, no? And if they're going to hire you, then what's in it for them, no? And then you focus on them. Okay. So anticipating questions, I already mentioned this, that the question will be something about your life. It's a test of your qualifications, of your experience, and of your character, okay? And then relate that. Another test is also testing whether you have a better idea on the requirements of the position, no? Of the specific things and tasks of the position, and about the organization, because you want to be part of our organization. The impression there is that you should have advanced study. You should have Google Docs, no? I mean, our organization. You should have read many things about our organization because you're here. You wanna be part of our organization. So things that you need to prepare before the interview. You remind yourself, you research the company, try to have an inventory of your skills based on the expectations of the position and what the employer wants and what are your potential. If you will be hired, then what will be your greatest contribution? No? What you can put into in the position and to the company. Okay, I hope that you get the things that I'm trying to share to you, KN 500 students. I've talked a lot, and but those information are very important in your quest for your desired job, no, in the future. Okay, all right. Okay, so I think we're done. I'm done for my talk, and let's now have our mock interview. So this is the process. You can volunteer, no? Kate, wanna give the instruction on how to go about it?
Yes, sir. So for our mock interview, basically what we're going to do is we're going to have the students. So kayo, you just raise your hand, no, you volunteer, and then we're just going to throw some questions at you, and then you just try to apply what you have learned from Sir Ray's discussion this morning. So try to give it your best. And I guess with that, we just want to have as many volunteers as we can within our time frame para naman ma-apply nyo kaagad yung naturo ni Sir Ray sa atin this morning. So with that said, do we have any volunteers who will start off our mock interview for this morning? Hindi pa naman ito graded, but it would be nice if you volunteer this morning para at least naman may makuha kayo na feedback kaagad so that during your mock interview, yung graded na, you'll know what to do. So do we have any volunteers from our participants? Any volunteers? Again, it's always best to try it, no? While hindi pa ito yung final talaga na job interview. Kasi may makukuha pa kayong feedback for today. So don't worry, anyway, hindi naman siya masyadong scary. So just simple questions just to see if you were really listening sa ating discussion this morning and kung nakuha niyo ba and kaya niyo ba siyang i-apply kaagad. Any volunteers from our participants? Kung walang volunteer, baka ako nalang mag-volunteer sa inyo. So do we have anyone who would like to take that leap of hindi naman faith? Anyone who would like to have a go at our mock interview this morning? We'll only have maybe 1 or 2 questions for you. Sige, wala talaga. We have no volunteers.
Wala, tuog sila sa kangkungan.
Lagi.
Tulog ang KN 500 sa kangkungan.
O, paninangapi ba? Sige daw, be. Sir, is it okay if I choose one?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sige. Let's have a look. Sino yung lucky natin na participant this morning? We have Christian Harina. Christian Harina. Christian Harina. Ayun.
Uy, participate da mo class. Uy, naman mo class. Uy, muna na kung discuss, kamo po dira, ugar po mo kaayo.
There we go. We
Ayan,
have a
si
volunteer. Camille. Okay, Camille, go ahead.
Hello, Camille.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us something about yourself.
Good morning, sir. My name is Camille Pega, and I am. Do I need to, sir? Acknowledge na graduate na ko, just like an
sige.
interview, really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I graduated as a criminology student in the University of Mindanao.
Mhm.
Yes, and
Why criminology? What brought you to take up criminology?
I am planning to be a law enforcer sir, someday.
So your direction really is to be in the
Become a police officer, sir.
PNP. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
Yeah,
To
in the
be a police
PNP.
officer, sir. Yes, sir.
Is
I'm
there
planning
somebody in
to.
the family who is also like you? Like, someone
None,
that
sir.
inspires you? Oh, okay.
I am really, kanang nag-uumpisa talaga ako, sir. Gusto ko maging pinakauna sa pamilya.
Okay. All right.
No
So,
connection, no involvement, anything.
wow, that's an exciting one. All right. So, because
Yes,
it's
sir.
also about service in the country and the like.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Camille. Here we go with
Thank you so
our
much, sir.
set of questions for you. What can you do for us that other candidates can't? There are only,
Uh,
limited number of policemen that's available in our station, and there are many applicants. So we're going to select the best candidate. So what can you do for us that other candidates can?
um, personally, sir, I don't think that I can I can tell you the things that I have that they don't have because I don't know them. But I can only give you the assurance that um I am determined and also accurate to enforce the law or and um, and also, sir, to enforce the law accurately by following what is indicated in the law that we need to enforce as a police enforcer, sir.
Okay. How has your experience in college prepared you for your career in the police force?
As a criminology student in University of Mindanao, it is really exciting for me. Like when I was in college, I am a student training assistant in University of Mindanao, which I was during my
In what
college
office,
when I
Camille?
HR, sir.
Sa
HRDC po.
HR, sa
Yes, sir.
Bolton.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Under Ma'am Akledan po.
Kay ma'am?
Ma'am Akledan po, sir.
Kay Michelle. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sige.
So during those time, it also developed me as a person to be responsible and also disciplined in terms of academic and also in workspace and in workplace, sir. So that's really one of my um, something that developed me as a person to be responsible during those college days that I can also implement as a police officer. That's all, sir.
Until now, are you still there in HR?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Ay, not sir. Hindi na, sir. Sukad sir. Sukad na pandemic. Yes, sir.
Okay. If I were to ask your professors or your previous boss to describe you, what would they say?
Maybe, sir, I see. Sorry. Um, if you were asked the professor or previous boss to describe
Ayun,
you, to
nasaha.
Yan, sir. Ang hihimaminag ito kasi.
Ba't mo na dungog? Sige, okay.
I think
And
determined
that's perfect
enough,
for
sir.
you because you are working as a student scholar, no? In an office, you
Yes,
have
sir.
a boss. You have been there for quite some time. So, how do you think they would describe you?
Hardworking, sir, and goal-oriented.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Camille, thank you very much. Good luck to you, no? Good luck to you, and wishing for your success in your studies and in your career, future career. Thank you very much, Camille.
Thank you so much, sir. Good
All
morning,
right.
anyway, sir. Thank you.
All right. Nice.
Okay, thank you again, Camille. Sir, we have another volunteer. I guess we
Okay.
have Elites Matub Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan, are you
Please.
there? Ayun.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hi, Ryan. Good morning. Tell us something about yourself, Ryan.
Um, Again, sir, good morning. I am Ryan, and I am already 28 years old, and I am, what do we call that one? I am very proud to say that I am a part of the indigenous people community, and I am a pure-blooded Blaan. and I obtained my degree at the University of Mindanao.
What degree is that?
A Bachelor of Secondary Education, sir, major in English.
Okay. Why education? What brought you to take up education?
Why education, sir? It is because not just my ultimate dream when I was a child, but because I wanted also, to educate my co-commun my co-blaan here, which is in our community, sir. We only have that few teachers who are an indigenous one, sir. So that's why I want to be part of them. I want also to become an English teacher. That's because in our community, sir, there are only these, I guess, two English teachers, and I
Mm.
want also to be part of them. That's why I chose education, sir.
Yeah, and I think personally, I've seen that getting an education for our IP brothers and sisters are very significant in changing their perspectives in life and in making them successful, and at least in improving the socio-economic conditions that they have. That's what I've learned from staying and living with a student for short period of time who is an IP, no, and that student shared a lot about his experience in his community. So I think, helping your fellow IPs in your community get an education will at least, help them, no, help improve their socio-economic conditions. Because ako pa naman, believer talaga ako that one best way for us, many of our destitute brothers and sisters, Filipino brothers and sisters, to uplift their living condition is through education. Because that will prepare you for a better future, getting a good job, changing your perspective in life. You know what I mean? It's something that will change your perspective. It's something that will give you confidence because you have that and no one can take that away from you. You know what I mean? So that's a noble thing, no? I mean, you may have a mission probably why you have that degree and you go back to your community. I'm also happy to learn that many of our IP graduates in education in the university, every time that, because if you tap the board exam, UM offers job, but some of them, they refuse the job here in UM because they want to go back to their community and help their area, no? Help the people there. And that's so noble. That's something, that's so touching. All right. Sige, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Here we go. What salary are you expecting?
Okay, in terms of salary, sir, I guess I don't have that specific amount as long as that or that job really suits to my field. And I guess I chose education. That's because I really want to inspire at the same time, not just to inspire but also to help my own community. So in terms of salary, I guess if I am under government, I guess the government will provide me what do we call that salary that really that really fit or suits to me for as long as that can provide some of my needs, I guess. So I guess, yeah, I don't have that specific amount, sir. Thank you.
Okay. If you had to live your life over again, Ryan, what one thing would you change?
Okay, sir. In my 28 years of existence, sir, I have learned a lot, and those failures, those success of mine, it molded me on how to become the best version of myself. I have learned a lot from it, and if there's one thing I would change, I guess that would be nothing. That's because those experiences of mine, those things that I have been through, has taught me a lot, and those experiences of mine made me who I am today. That's it, sir. Thank you.
Is there anything else I should know about you?
Um, Anything else you should know about me? Okay. You should know about me, sir. Is what do we call that one? you you have to ask me more about my community, which is as what I have said, I belong into the IT community. That's because there's so much interesting facts about us. Yeah, that's it, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ryan. Good luck to you
Thank
and
you, sir.
for your success in life and in your career.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Sir, we have another volunteer. If we still have some more questions, we
Yeah,
have
yeah. We have
Arlene.
Arlene,
Arlene Joy
please.
Ragas. You
Hello,
may
sir.
turn your
Good
mic.
morning.
Good morning, Arlene. Tell us something about yourself.
Yes, good morning again. My name is Orin Joy Ragas. You can call me Joy. I graduated the Bachelor of Science in Accounting Information System in the University of Mindanao. I am also a fresh graduate in which I learned a lot from from my university, and I am currently living in Davao City.
Okay. Why information system? What brought you to take up that course?
For information systems because right now our economy or our community is fast evolving, and we all know technology is also changing fast. So I pondered upon myself that accounting and information system is a good way to enhance my skills, especially with the businesses nowadays. We are all using technology, information systems, and thus I decided to take this path.
Okay. Sige, good luck. If you were an animal, which one would you want to be?
If I were to be an animal, I would choose dog because the loyalty of a dog is very remarkable. The dogs are very loyal to their owners, especially with regards to their uh, to the how they communicate with their owners. Though they cannot talk directly, but they know the connection between them is strong, and that bond is very good. Especially for me, if I will apply to a company, I will really stay loyal, especially with my duties and responsibilities.
Okay. How would you rate yourself from 1 to 10?
If I will be able to rate myself from 1 to 10, I will say 9, because I'm pretty confident that I am a good person. However, there are still a lot of weaknesses that I'm looking forward to enhance. I would want these weaknesses to turn into strengths someday, especially if I will work with this company. I would want to grow not just an individual but as a professional as well.
Will you relocate if you will be hired? Does relocation bother you?
No, not at all, sir. At first, firstly, I want to relocate because as a 22-year-old fresh graduate, I am living with my parents for all of my life, and I would want to grow as a person by living separately. So if I would be relocated, I don't matter at all.
Okay. How many hours a week do you usually work and why?
In a week, I work maybe 40 hours, but I do not mind exceeding to that point, especially if there are necessary jobs that needed to be finished, especially during the day. There are deadlines that needed to be met. So yes, I am not, it doesn't bother me if I exceeded to that number of hours.
Thank you very much, Arlene. Good luck to you, to your journey, and we wish success to your endeavor, to your studies, and to your future career.
Thank you so much,
Congratulations.
sir.
Okay, wow, that was a very good job, I guess, Arlene. No? Congrats. Do we have any more volunteers who would like to
Proud
talk
si Kate.
that? Sige, any more volunteers? I think we still have a few more questions here for anybody who would like to try. Para
Oh,
naman
ano
may
nakadalo?
takeaway. Yeah. Super ano lang, super madali lang siya. Kulba lang siya at first. Pero eventually, once you start answering, okay naman. Anybody else who would like to give it a go? Para naman may takeaway kayo sa additional takeaway sa webinar natin this morning. Para masabi nyo na, ay, tama pala. Sabi ni Sir Ray. Sabi sa ka-ed seminar namin, hindi ganito yung gawin sa interview. Anybody else who would like to try?
Daghan pa ko question. Sayang akong question.
Actually, if you will try now, no, this will, ayun, we have one. Bangkil, John Ray. Bangkil, are you there? You can turn your mic on. Bangkil, John Ray, ayun. John Ray, I think nagka-volunteer siya. Pero hindi niya na-on yung mic. You can turn your mic on. Ay, ano pa ba ang iba? Hindi namin pwede gawin. Okay. He has a question pala, sir. Later na lang siguro yung questions natin after the mock interview. Yes. Mag-interview muna tayo and then John Ray will get back to your question later on. Alright, sige. Who else would like to volunteer? Sayang yung opportunity to try. Anybody else? Maybe I can volunteer somebody. Sino ba hindi pa natin natawag? Marami. Maybe si Friends Mary Joy Abulok. Friends Mary Joy Abulok. Friends Mary Joy Abulok. Hello. Uy, niliisog ang kape sa mga tao karong morning. Friends Mary Joy? Wala. Maybe can we have Glendy Gil Padillo? Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Glendy Padillo. Glendy Padillo. Wow. Wala, pangit ka mo ka-bonding.
Correct. Ay, kabanding ang morning session. Uli mag-volunteer.
Pangit bitaw sila. Kadang boring sila kabanding ng mga uga.
Third year, fourth year na good mo. So, you're very exposed na to, ano? May ani na mga...
Tawa lang good si Arlene, di ba? Lino, mga pangit mo kabanding na henerasyon.
Okay. Padillo is not...
Education students, where are you?
Hala.
Naman si Ryan kanina, di ba? Nag-volunteer man siya education. Kanang laing course, sa una no, kuan mga held kay mga volunteer, mga
engineering,
mga engineering, business, kasagaran. Karon criminology ang first nag-volunteer, di ba? Kuya kaayo.
Wala, itaas niyo na ang bandera ng college niyo. Sa may taga... Ito engineering. Kasi taga-engineering dire.
Taga-BA. Taga-accountancy. Wala yung mga taga-accounting.
May accounting ngayon na, Sir Siragas.
Arlene Ganiha.
Oo, Siragas.
Siragas.
MIS.
IAS?
IAS.
Engineering or BA. AIS pala, sorry. John Kenneth Abeharon. Sige daw. Abeharon. Hello, wala Jude. Guys, okay pa tayo? Sana okay lang kayo. Wala gyud. Nga mga ano man ni kaayo. Agoy, I see someone I'm familiar. Miss Joyce, Mamoko. Familiar nga name. Kani si Joyce kay murag maganda ka na ni experience.
Good morning, ma'am. Wait lang po. Kasi may under construction sa house.
Oh no. Can you go somewhere na medyo ayun? There we go.
Wait lang.
Hello, Joyce.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Tell us something about yourself, Joyce.
Okay, for what? Okay. Good morning, sir. My name is Joyce Roldan Momoko. I am currently 22 years of age, and I took a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy when I was in college. And in University of Mindanao, I also studied as an exchange student for a semester in University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And currently, right now, I am residing in Davao City.
Okay. What brought you to take up accountancy?
I took a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy because originally I really planned to go to law school to be a CPA lawyer someday. And but I realized also that there are actually a lot of opportunities, um, even just you're an accounting graduate, or you'll be someday, I'll be a CPA someday. So I would like to take part of, I would like to contribute as well my skills and capabilities in terms of the accounting field. And in the future, if God will permit, I will become a lawyer and would contribute to our nation someday.
That's nice. Corporate law ang ano mo niyan, direction mo niyan. 'Di ba? Exciting
Yes,
yan.
sir.
Oo.
Yes, sir.
Madali ka lang yumaman yan kasi mga corporate law ang ano mo, field mo. Okay. Good luck. Here we go. Tell me
Thank you,
about the last
sir.
time you had a disagreement with someone.
Okay. Actually, the last time I had a disagreement with someone was actually with my family member, with my recently with my dad. But the way, but it's usually like just the normal disagreement, and I usually resolve it through understanding and having patience, because it's really normal, even if when you're already in a company, or when you have like just a little disagreement with your employer, or with your co-employees. I usually do resolve it by understanding them more, by listening to them more, so that in that way, listening to them will resort me to understanding them more, rather than um speaking out my word, speaking out my intentions first.
Okay. If I gave you an elephant, where would you hide it?
If you give me an elephant, sir, I would, actually an elephant cannot be hidden, but I would hide it to my farm. If I
Oh,
do, yeah,
you have a farm, huh?
because someday, I just like my mother's dream. She wanted to have her own resort and own farm. So, and my mom really likes an elephant, because before we went to Thailand, she got so much fond of an elephant. So I would be really happy if you give me an elephant. So I would give it to my mom, and I would keep it to our farm in the future.
Wow, how big is your farm? Like 56 hectares?
Wow. God willing, sir.
Hectareage of farm, huh? Anyway, what has been your most disappointing experience?
Maybe one of my most disappointing experience is those times where I wasn't able to give my best, because of just some fears, some doubts, and some worries that I have for myself. Like, I have so many fears and doubts wherein there are a lot of so many opportunities that life has offered me, that the university or the company has offered me, but I just have so much fears and worries about myself. But right now, I'm actually coping. I'm actually adjusting, and I've learned to realize that a fear will really not take you to your destination. Like, your worries and doubts will really not take you to your dream goals. That's why you really need to believe in yourself, and you really need to have faith to God that He is in control, that He can actually help you. He will be there in every undertakings that you will take in life. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Joyce. Good luck to your studies and to your future career. Thank you very much for
Thank
participating.
you so much, Sir Ray. Thank you, Ma'am Kate.
Thank you, Joyce. Napili siya ka na nabunutan. Okay. Let's have some more, I guess. Maybe one or
Ano
two
na
more.
mamuko naman si Joyce? Di mo na siya mamuko sa una, di ba?
Hello, sir. Maboko man ko, sir.
Mamuko ba ka, Joyce?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sabi
Okay.
ako nakaminyo na kaog hapon.
Hala ka, sir. Wala, sir. Wala akong nakakuan, sir. Wala akong nakakuha from Malaysia. Ay, sir.
Wala na bring home.
Gani sa Malaysia ka ni Antonia, ano nga, Japanese sounding naman imo family mo.
Kay bawal ba ya sa contract, sir?
Gani. Anyway, Marites pa ko ha.
Okay, I see some education students here. BS Ed, si Miliani Opsar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Miliani Jane Opsar. Are you there? Wala siya. Wala siyang nilive. Opsar, Miss or Mr. Opsar, are you there? Wala. Nawala gid siya. Sige, how about this other one? Yes, Ed pa rin. Jenny Dalura. Jenny Dalura. Wala. Agoy. Why is everyone so shy today? How about si Miss Ana Fe Gabato? Ana Fe Gabato? Wala. Wow, ayaw talaga. Wala nang volunteers dyan. Kailangan.
Wala, dali lagi pag-volunteer ang mga English major.
Talaga nag-volunteer sa ilan no. Hindi hapon sila matubag.
Kung kay Ma'am, kay Ma'am Pistingo.
Hala. Who else can we ask? Maybe can we ask Bonita? Aram ko siya.
Si Arthur Sumampong.
Okay. Arthur Sumampong daw.
Hello, good morning.
There we go.
Kaya,
Okay.
Okay lang po ba walang
volunteer
ano?
na yun.
Sorry sir na lang kagihulat ka ganina. Okay lang po ba walang walang camera?
Mas okay ko na Arthur.
Kadali lang sir.
Bawal ang camera shy. Okay, go Arthur. Kaya niyo yan.
Okay lang yan, Arthur. Kaya mo yan. Go. Nice ginang na-camera. Okay ba yung mga nag-volunteer? Di ba no? Maulaw lang yun sila. Wala lang yun sila anang ano.
Kani. Masing ginahuna-huna nila sa on the top sa other.
So there you go.
Ayun, there we
Arthur.
go.
Hello.
Alright.
Hello, good morning again sir.
Good morning. Tell us something about you, Arthur.
Again, hello, good morning. I am Arthur Sumampong. A graduate of Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering in the University of Mindanao.
That's
I'm
nice.
currently 24 years old, and for my skills, I have been training for the past few months in CCA and also in ESL because I'm just bored and I don't know what to do with my time. So that's it.
Arthur, what brought you to take up civil engineering? Is there someone in the family who is a civil engineer? Somebody brought you to do that, to take up that course? What?
Actually, sir, there's none. There's no engineer in our family, but I took up civil engineering because of I want to build something like a house for my grandmother and father.
Wow. Wow.
they were gone, and I was not yet graduate. They were gone 2 years ago. So that's it, sir.
Okay. Sige, good luck to you. Here are your questions. I've seen applicants with impressive credentials and good years of experience. And considering your credentials, no, why should I hire you for the job and not them?
Because, sir, not just I graduated from the University of Mindanao, that um also but also we've been I've been training a lot recently in the past 2 years, how to handle stressful jobs. And also I've been teaching a lot of students to become a leader, and also teaching them how to uh, basically teach them how to compute simple mathematics.
Okay.
Not just here in the Philippines, but also in Australia, sir.
Okay. What college subjects did you like least? Of course, not math for sure, no, and algebra and calculus. And why you don't like that subject?
Um, for me, sir, the pol sci, I think the pol sci. I guess
You have all the subjects in CE?
uh, I was this university is my second school, sir.
Okay.
From first year we have a political science in Father Esternino Orius University in Butuan.
In Butuan, yeah.
Yes po. Yes po.
Curious ka.
Yes po. Then we have a POSI there, and I don't like um what do you call this? Memorizing every sentence. I just like to familiarize everything. So in POSI, they want to memorize every single letter, and I think I got 75 that time. That's why I don't like that subject.
Okay. Sige. You're in a boat on a freshwater in Lake Lanao. In your hand is a rock. You throw the rock into the lake. How is the lake's water level affected? Baka gamitan mo kami ng mga equation, ha, mga model.
Siguro lake is a very big place, so I think they will the water level will just rise a little bit because of the wave or something, and then because of my mass, so I just elevate a bit.
Okay. Thank you very much, Arthur. Good luck to your studies, and
sir.
we hope for your success in your journey.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you again, Arthur. Meron pa pong questions, sir.
Meron pa ata ako. Kahit last. Pwede pa.
I think may isang familiar dito, but I'm not sure. What's his name? Yun, Carl Simon Abalo. Carl Simon Abalo, are you there? Wala? I think he used to be my student. Carl Simon Abalo. Wala. Okay, sige, let's look for another tribute. Hindi na kayo volunteer, tributes na kayo. Silveron, Ella May Silveron. Ella?
Good morning, ma'am, sir. Sorry for the noise.
Okay, go ahead, Ella.
Just a moment lang po. I am not in my best appearance as of now. So please pardon me.
Oh, Ella, tell us something about yourself.
Good morning, sir, ma'am. My name is Almeji Salveron. I am a Bachelor of Science in Management Accounting graduate, hailing from the University of Mindanao, and is currently residing here in Davao City.
Asa man ka, Ella? Wala man po malipong apil mo.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Sige, okay. Here we go with your question. What's the important lesson you have learned from this pandemic and how this has changed your perspective?
Uh, Lessons, there are actually a lot on ranging from the financial perspective and your mental health. But since I am a graduate of the Bachelor of Accounting, so I am actually inclined in the financial perspective as how the company is keeping floating and the economy is rather declining because of this pandemic that we have right now. So in terms of the financial perspective, I think it is my take in this situation right now is that we have to be we have to be what I mean is we have to be sure or we have to be optimistic despite of this situation right now, and we have to make sure that our finances is enough or sufficient for us to go on living despite this circumstances that is happening right now.
Okay. Where do you see yourself in 7 years?
Since I am still a fresh graduate, uh, I am leaning towards a position in where I can enjoy my life and also contribute a lot in the company that I am about to be employed. So that's all.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
There are actually one, sir. So, sir, how do you what I mean is how do you spot a good character just in an interview, or how do you give feedback to those that are you're interviewing?
Well, character and personality is one important factor to consider, no, in looking for the best person for a position, and especially for our company. You can sense that in many ways. For example, the way that an applicant communicates, the way he or she constructs her responses, her statements, whether he is impolite, the choice of words, no, um, and including nonverbal communication, the facial expression, the consistency in the eye-to-eye contact, for example. Because if you are not consistent in your eye-to-eye contact, it seems that you're hiding something from the interviewer. You know what I mean? So there are many factors, but one is the character of your words, how polite you are, how respectful you are, because still that matters a lot. Because if you are showing politeness and you are respectful to authority, it means that you are willing to learn, you are open for instruction, no? You are open for feedback, all right? Because that's how important it is, especially in your case that you are new. You will, if you will be hired in our company, then you're going to be a new employee, and that you are going to still assimilate yourself to the organization and meet people in the organization. Then it will take time. Okay, so if you are ready for that, if you are willing to learn, if you are willing to meet people and listen to them for your own growth, then that's one factor that I am looking for an applicant.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate the answer.
All right.
And
Thank you
I
very
will
much, Ella. No? And good luck to you. And we wish for your success in your endeavor.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ella. And I think we have another volunteer, Forones.
CG Boy Forones.
Yun. CG Boy Forones. Ayun.
Saminan pa man ng CG Boy. Hi, CG Boy. What's your full name? CG.
That's my full name, sir. CG Boy Foran.
Oh, really? So it's just CG Boy. Okay.
With a period, sir.
Wow. Why? I mean, what's the etymology of your name?
Well, I haven't asked my father about this, but I think it's their initials. My father's name is Christopher, and then my mother's name is actually Virginia, but her nickname is Gigi.
Oh, okay. That might be the reason for your name, huh? All right. Tell us something about yourself, like your degree and some other important things that you want to share with us.
Well, right now I'm not actually a graduate yet of my degree, but I'm taking Bachelor of Secondary Education, majoring in English. And right now I'm actually actively involved in our organization in language and literature, which is the Empowered Language Literature Teacher Society. I am a third year representative, and to tell to tell you about myself, fun fact, I actually love music, especially Taylor Swift. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Taylor Smith, huh? Or like, what what song of Taylor Smith you like most?
Well, it's very hard to select the best song, but I think the best song right now for me that actually resonates me right now is the the Starlight. Yeah,
Mm,
in Red album.
okay. Si Benji, BTS.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Ako naman Justin. Anyway.
Oh, yes.
All right, sige. Answer that question. Do you have any questions for me before we proceed to other questions?
Okay, sir. My question, sir, is how do you develop attitude in the workplace, sir? As like me, who is novice in the in workplace in the employment industry.
Well, for our company, for our organization, we have program. We always onboard our newly hired employees for different trainings, equipping them with, you know, capabilities and competencies that we see them lacking in them. So there's a transition period actually for our novice workers in the organization. So we onboard them, we monitor their progress from time to time, and then we also coach them. We give them feedback on the areas that they have improved a lot and those areas that they need improvement. So that's what we do in our company. The thing there is that for newly hired employees, they must be willing to learn those stuff. If you are new to an organization, there's a period of honeymoon. There's a period that you assimilate, and there's a period of you have to learn. So in our case, we have program for that. It's part of our staff development program. And on the part of our employees, especially the new ones, they only have to have an active participation, involve themselves, and ensure that they will not miss any of those lessons and any of those training that we're going to provide to them. All right.
Thank you so much for that, sir. And I really agree with that, sir. And it actually matched to my, my goal as a future working professional, because I really wanted to, to be teachable, and as well as to learn more. I know that there are weaknesses and strengths that I have, but I want to work on those weaknesses. And I think that if I get into this company, maybe I will learn more from your industry.
Okay. When was the last time you broke the rules? What was the situation and what did you do?
Well, the first time that I actually broke the rule is that it's not actually that big. It's just my routine in the house. I usually read my sim, but in that time I consider my my headspace. I consider my my mental disposition that time, and for a day I did not read any sim. And I think it's good thing that you also prioritizes yourself, and make boundaries of your academics and yourself. And but I still read my sim.
What can you say about those who are non-vaxxers?
Oh my God.
Well, the only thing that I
Vax
can
ka na
say,
ba? Vax ka na ba?
I'm vax, I'm fully vaxxer,
Okay.
Sinovac po yung vaccine ko. And the only thing that I want to say is that you should hear our healthcare professionals, sir. I think that our healthcare system is, has a huge problem, especially if you're a non-vaxxer, you are really, what do you call that, very exposed to the virus. And the only thing that can protect us is the vaccine. And if you actually vax yourself, um, I think that could help our healthcare system and then help our medical practitioners as well, and yourself and your family.
Okay. There's also that notion that you have to see the benefit, no, the entire benefits of your decision of getting vaccinated.
Yes.
How do you deal with pressure or stressful situation?
Well, pressure is always been there, and I think the only thing that you have to do is your reaction to those, stressful and pressured situation. I think that makes you what you are. It's not the situation that makes you. It's actually your choices, your rationality of how you will step on to that situation and overcome it. And by
But for
dealing
sure
that,
you get stressed or sometimes you really
yeah,
feel down and the like. So like you have coping, you have something that can shift your attention for a
yes.
moment for you to be able.
As,
What you usually do?
as about to mention, sir, I'm actually a fan of Taylor Swift, what I mentioned earlier.
You're
So
sorry, you're fan of what?
Taylor Swift, sir.
Ah, you
They,
okay, you listen to
yes,
music.
yes. I usually listen to music to somehow divert my attention rather than focusing on the things that I cannot control.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much,
So much,
CJ, and
sir. Thank you so much.
good luck to you. And we wish for your success in your journey. Kate, I think that's all for our mock interview. We congratulate and we thank for those who have joined us in our mock interview. Let me check. Actually, naghampagod akong question, no? Pero sige na lang. I'd like to I think I have shared this already, no, in the previous discussion about the result, no, of the survey that there's a survey done in the global arena, HR, different companies. They were asked about what are the most important skills they're looking for from an applicant. And it turns out that communication tops the list, followed by problem solving. And when they were asked what skills that's missing, that's not so present in the applicants, no, topping the list is problem solving, and this one is consistent in the survey in the University of Mindanao. I think there's a competency assessment, something, no, in I heard that from the academics department and from the deans. And communication and problem solving are the most common skills that are missing to our students. And I think what this study is telling us is that this is also present among our graduates, among our students. So I think these are the skills that you have to hone, no, you have to learn over time because as mentioned, communication, problem solving, teamwork, and flexibility are the most important skills to the companies, to the industries, and to the HR that they're looking for from an applicant. And it turns out that it's also consistent, you have problem solving there in the list, you have communication there in the list, you have resilience and creativity in the list. So you can take a screenshot of this and over time you have to do something to develop this. I'd like to end by saying that your words are the mirror of your character. Choose them carefully. We need to think of our tongue as a messenger that runs errands for our heart. Our words reveal our character. Why I'm showing this? Because I noticed that many of our young people, kanino yan? Manilin, paki-off ng iyong phone, ng mic mo. Pa-mute, sino ang ating host? Benji ba? So, there's one thing that I noticed to our many young people today, especially when they're so active in the social media. It seems that, you know, the audacity feeling, yung sinasabi kong audacity, yung sense of entitlement, parang knows all, no, di ba? And there's a tendency that many of our young people today are infected with impolite virus, no, disrespectful virus, no, that you know, in the first lesson in the Kain 500, in our first seminar, I told you that you have to be careful in your post in the social media. No? Hindi dapat lahat ng na-feel mo, kung ano ang feeling mo at kung galit ka, ipopost mo yan sa social media. Better hide, no, those negative emotions and feelings and negative words to yourself rather than showing that to the public, because it will speak otherwise. No? It will speak something not also nice about yourself. All right. So be careful, because it says here that your words are the mirror of your character. So you have to choose them carefully. So I think that's all. If we have questions, I can still entertain questions. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Okay, for those of you na may questions, this is now your time to ask while Sir Ray is still available. But I think we had a question from earlier, Sir Ray. Would it be okay if I read it out?
Yes, yes.
It was from John Ray. His question was, ano pa po ba ang ibang di namin pwede gawin during interview?
Mahuyab. I mean, you know, you try to observe someone. I suggest that instead of watching videos and reading something there in your phone and in your gadget, something that will not contribute to your learning, contribute to your development and the like. Yes, last night I had a friend. He's a doctor. I mean, he has a blog, and his blog is all about educational. It's an educational blog, and he shares to us the sentiment that for educative or for vlogs that are educational in nature, compared to nonsense blogs like mga blog ni Muntulfo and the like, there are more viewers and more followers. And that reflects about the attitude and the interest of many of our Filipino people. You know what I mean? So ako, ang suggestion ko, if you really want to be successful in your career, no, and in your future endeavor, you have to take some pain. Dapat marunong ka mag-distinguish ng ano yung nararapat sa iyo might not interest you a lot, but it may contribute to your learnings, to something that, you know, will make you laugh for some nonsense thing. Pareho ng ano, although makikita ko man din ang relevance ng Telma ba yan? Telma videos. Many are watching Telma videos. Okay, I mean, isang beses, dalawang beses, mabasa mo na agad kung anong message ang binibigay doon. Pero you stick to that, you follow to that sa kahit ano-ano pang mga videos niya. I mean, there are more other important videos and relevant videos na pwede mo i-follow. So what I'm trying to say is that you observe a formal interview in a YouTube, no, or you listen to an educational podcast, and you will learn a lot. Because if you're going to ask me what other things that you need to avoid when you're in an interview, the list is so long. The list is so massive. You know what I mean? Might be that the entire morning session and entire day is not enough for me to share those to you. So you can improve yourself, and you can discover those stuff by, you know, watching videos, reading articles that are beneficial to your future career. All right? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sir Ray. I think we have another question from Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan, if you can turn on your mic.
Hi, sir. Good morning, Ma'am Kate. Good morning. Ay, sir, naara ko ano, sir, babalik question kay let me share something, sir, ha, kay way back in 2014, sir, kay nagtrabaho ko sa ano, sir, sa forwarding company, and then I met several people, sir, but just like sa katong head na mo sa marketing. Then, actually, sir, there is this one question nga imong gihatag gani, imong gi-ask rather dito as sa katong kay Miss Accounting. Katong, if I'm going to give you an elephant, asa nimo ibutang? Then, can we just answer it, sir, na instead of, ay, kumbaga, i-sandwich na mo, sir, bro. Just like, the said question kasi, sir, was asked by one of my, before, sa katong kauban ako sa trabaho, sir, ba? And then, tawag dito, our head marketing, katong sa sales marketing officer na mo, sir, kay, nag-ask og opinion sa iya, ha, on, tawag dito, what's the best way of answering the said question. Pero ang iyaha lang, sir, kato is, dili elephant, bali giraffe. And then, he tawag dito, katong kauban ako, sir, kay answered it just like iyang sandwich, sir, bagay niingon siya ng if you will give me tawag dito a giraffe, I will not accept it. That's because it's so difficult lagi daw alagaan, and then dili daw siya makasurvive diri as atong lugar daw. Then instead of accepting it, so better not to accept it. Instead, ihatag na lang dito sa tao or sa lugar na katong safe. Pwede ba anaon siya pagtubag, sir? Like, not necessarily talaga to jud ba, to expound more. Instead, tawag dito, go directly to, tawag dito, to what you wanted to convey. Murag ana, sir ba? Okay lang ba yung ganun, sir?
Well, actually,
Thank you.
questions like that has no direct relevance to your intention and the purpose why you are there after all. No? Questions like that are given to test your readiness, to test your composure, that difficult situations like that, difficult questions like that, how you manage yourself. Meron bang nag-iba sa iyo? Meron bang yung spontaneity mo, no? Yung mabilis ka mag-isip kahit ano ang magiging sagot mo, no? There is no ideal answer to questions like that, no? Pareho nung tanong kanina about kung nasa Lake Lanao ka, happen ng bato, what will happen to the water? Alam nga naman, magawa ka ng equations doon. Hindi, no? Ang punto doon is that may mga question na i-test lang how you maintain yourself, how do you maintain your confidence, no? Your composure and the like, all right? Correct naman yung sasabihin mo na of course, giraffe cannot survive in our place, and maybe you'll turn over the giraffe to proper authorities for proper care, and you're not in a position to take care of it. All right? So, yung mga ganong question, gaano ka kabilis mag-isip? All right? Ang punto kasi ng mga questions na yon is that, gaano ka kabilis mag-isip ng sagot para sa ganong mga situations. And careful kayo because your answers probably will surely reflect, no, your personality, your character, the real you, no? So yung mga ganun. Okay? Ryan, okay ka na?
Yes po, sir. Tapos, sir, isa na lang dyan, sir. Sorry kay sir, ha. Bali, sir, kanang, like, for example, sir, you as the, tawag dito, the interviewer will asks me nga, tawag dito, do you have any question? Tapos mag-ask kasi mo, sir, ba nga, when will you hire me ba yan? It is appropriate pa daw, sir, or daily?
Okay, ganito yon. Meron, yung sabi ko kanina, dapat careful ka talaga sa mga choice of words mo. No? Kasi sasabihin mo, when will you hire me? For me, it's an audacious sounding question. I mean, statement. Interesado ka talaga, gusto mo ipakita yung interest mo sa pag-apply sa trabaho, no? Pwede ka naman magsabi na, well, my question is, can I make a follow-up? When can I make a follow-up on the status of my application? Rather than, when can you hire me? You know what I mean? So proper construction yan yan. That's part of communication. So if you do not know how to construct the right statement and the right question, delikado ka din yan. No? So what I'm trying to say, Ryan, is that dapat kayo kain 500 students, marunong talaga kayo mag-construct. Careful kayo sa inyong mga choice of words, sa inyong mga statements. Kasi kahit ang intention mo, mabuti, hindi masama, alright? But the way that you ask, the way that you construct your statement may speak otherwise. No? So dapat careful ka. All right? Okay. So instead of saying, when are you going to hire me? Pwede naman siguro, when can I make a follow-up on the status of my application? So it's more polite. All right? It's more polite, it's more respectful rather than when ka, hire, assuming ka ha, ano ka, dean ka ng Assumption College. Okay? Assumptionista ka. Assume mo na kaagad na na-hire ka. No? Okay? Sige, Ryan. Okay,
Sir, thank you. Thank you po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ryan, for your questions. Sino pa ba ang may questions? Do you have any other follow-up questions, clarifications? Wala na?
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning,
Yes.
sir. Sir, regarding lang sa kanang mga akong advisor regarding sa question na magihatag sa ko ganina, sir. With regard sa katong question na murag regarding sa unsay naa sa imuha nawala sa laing applicants. Unsa ano mapag-address ana, sir, regarding sa murag unsay di proper na response na mo ana sa sa employer na naga pag nami sa as an applicant, sir, sa ano man siya pag-address?
Okay, actually, if you have the chance to meet the other applicants, no, before your turn to be interviewed, at least you have a better gauge of their ability, their experience, their qualifications and the like. That would be nice. It will give you competitive edge to analyze where will you be, how are you going to sell yourself, no? But the question is more on testing the best competencies and the best abilities, no? The uniqueness of the applicant, something that is not common to the rest of the applicants. For example, when I applied for a group study exchange program in the US that was sponsored by Rotary, it's for professionals. Many of those who applied actually are occupying higher positions. Their career is much more exciting, I would say, than my position. So we have judge, no, an applicant who is a judge, a city councilor, a doctor, an entrepreneur, something like that. Ako naman ay simpleng empleyado lang. So when I was asked the question why we have to include you in the team who will go to the United States, so I was banking on, because I learned that before leaving the country, going to the US, you are going to promote a lot about the program. There will be TV interviews, there will be newspaper interviews. But there's going to be a lot of EIC, information and educational campaign about the program. And banking on my experience in a school paper and in the marketing and promotion, my work in the university is also related to marketing and promotion. So that's where I vouch, I flaunt myself. I tell the interviewer that I have this experience and the like. So I have to be different from the rest. Because di man mo masugo ang judge na magbuhat ng mga promotional materials, mag-publish ng mga materials, di na mo sila masugo. Walay idea sila on saan pag-layout, no, di ba? So, but I can only say that if I have prior knowledge about, what are the requirements of the position. That's why pabalik-balik na sinasabi ko sa inyo, pag-aralan ninyo ang requirements and expectations of the position. Okay? For example, another thing, when I applied as a board member in a state university, board of trustees, in a university, for representing private sector, I learned that the other applicants are, lawyers, may mga doctors, ganyan. And I learned, so meron ka talaga dapat marites, dapat marunong ka talaga mag-investigate. So I had a friend, I asked my friend, uy, kisa man ang mga nag-a-apply ani, unsa man ni sila, unsa ilang mga profession, unsa ilang mga credentials. So I learned na lawyers, mga doctors, businessmen. And I'm the only one who is from the academe. And state university imong gi-applyan. So nag-bank on ko sa ako experience, the fact that I'm the only one who is from the academe sector, they can use my experience and exposures. Why you will be hiring somebody who is not connected and who has no experience at all in the academe, where in fact the organization is all about academe, diba? Academic institution. So that's how important if you are going to select me as representative from the private sector, I can really contribute a lot because of my knowledge, because of my experience, diba? So you can only make comparison, benchmark with what you have if you have prior knowledge of who are also applying for the job. So if you're in a job interview, you go there in the area early and then you ask others, I mean, you know, their background, makimarites ka, or if you have insider in the HR, and then you can ask, no, in economics, for those of you who are in business or probably in economics, merong term yan, transactional cost. That's how important inside information is. All right? Di pwede na mag-apply ka lang, punta ka lang doon, nakapakialam. Alamin mo din sino ang mga nang-apply para makita mo din kung anong meron ka. Ikaw, Camille, ano ka, criminology, magaling ka sa investigation, background investigation, di ba? So, makimarites ka kung sino ang mga kasabayan mo na nag-apply para makita mo kung anong meron ka na wala sila. And you bank on that based on the requirement of the position. Okay? Ibig sabihin nun, you take extra mile, you take extra effort in, you know, in your application. No? Camille, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Camille. And sir, we have another question
Thank you,
here
ma'am.
sa chat box.
Yeah.
Sira daw yung mic niya. How many days po or weeks do we have to wait po para malaman if we are hired sa gi-applyan na job? Thank you.
Actually, that's one question that you can also ask, no, during the interview. All right. But if you forget that, you can make a follow-up. You can call the staff that it's your privilege anyway to know the feedback of your application process. Do not feel shame or scared of asking the timeline, no, of when can you make a follow-up from the time that you were interviewed. So it's your privilege. You ask the HR, you ask the interviewer. But if there's no feedback at all, you were told that probably in 10 days. But if there's no feedback at all, you give yourself 15 days. Within the 15-day period, if there are no feedback whatsoever, then consider that you were not hired for the position and reconsider your options.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Mr. or Miss Miliane.
Kasi hindi naman
we have-
pwede ikaw, hindi naman pwede ikaw, no, hintayin ng matagal. Ano ka, ano lang, tao-tao sa humayan. Diba? So, no, hindi pwede. Dapat meron din limit doon sa paghintay mo.
Okay, di ba? Hindi dapat tayo forever naghihintay. Dapat may
course.
limit. Alright. Sige, do we have any other questions? Or okay na tayong lahat? Any more clarifications while survey is still available? Any more questions? Wala na?
Wala na siguro.
Okay, sige. So it seems as though wala na tayong other questions for this morning. So before we end our session for this morning, let's just go through with some announcements for the upcoming events for CAED. Let me just share my screen with you. Anyway, sige. So for our first announcement is for your virtual mock interview. The mock interview that we did this morning is just a prologue, no, to the actual virtual mock interview. So since Component C is all about your job interview, interview, we will be posting a registration link, and it will be posted on your Blackboard LMS. And what you do is you're just going to sign up in that registration form. And then the interview date will be on March 9. That's next week, Wednesday. So anytime from 8 a.m. until 4 o'clock p.m., you'll be scheduled to have your interview during that day. So just make sure to sign up, include your name sa registration link natin. And then your rubric on how we are going to grade you will also be posted on your Blackboard LMS. Okay? But I guess there are some of you who will not be available talaga on that day. So to compensate for that, you have another option. So your first option is itong virtual mock interview. Magkikita tayo niyan like this now, and we're gonna have the interview. But if you cannot do that, your other option will be a TikTok entry. So as you can see on your screen right now, there are actually two activities that we are going to require from you if hindi nyo kaya yung virtual mock interview. So the first task will be for you to do a job interview attire challenge. So using TikTok, our platform will be TikTok, and then you are going to get dressed in your best job interview outfit, of course, following the tips that were discussed during our seminar this morning. So yung mga color coding, yung mga anong type sa top ang kailangan suotin, those kinds of things. You choose the best job interview outfit, and then head on over to TikTok, and then we're going to use the tune of Butter by BTS. You're going to play that one, and then you're going to basically show off your outfit. So dapat nakita yung whole body. That would include your hair down to your shoes. And then kung may accessories there, for example, for the male, we have your watches. So we should be able to see that as well if ever kasali yan sa outfit ninyo. Okay? And then in your video, please make sure to include your full name and your code. So di ba, kabalo naman mag-edit-edit anang mabutangan niyo siya kanang murag caption sa video mismo. Dili ang sa caption sa baba, katong sa video mismo makita ang imong name and ang imong code. And then sa caption, what you're going to use would be hashtag #Tide500, hashtag job interview attire, and then you're going to tag at Career Dev in your post para makita na mo. So don't forget in your caption to include these hashtags and to tag Career Dev para makita na mo ang inyong entry. Okay? So the judges will be choosing the top 5 in the best interview attire for both male and female. So top 5 sila. Okay? And then on top of that, you will also have to submit another video which will be the job interview itself. So you're going to visit Career Dev the Career Dev's TikTok account. Again, the account is Career Dev. And then look for the Duet This video of your coach in component B and C. So yung hahanapin nyo, yung pinaka-recent na video ni Sir Benji, ni Ma'am Isa, and for myself. So hanapin nyo yung Duet This na video, tapos i-answer nyo. You answer the following job interview questions to the best of your ability. And then again, make sure to include your full name and code in the video. And again, use the hashtags #Tide500 and job interview challenge. Okay, so you're going to download your output and then you're going to submit it on your LMS. Okay, so I guess that goes as well for your TikTok attire challenge. So ulitin ko lang para klaro, you have two options. The first one is you're going to have the actual mock virtual interview, which will be happening on March 9. You're going to sign up for it through the registration link, which we will be posting on your LMS. The other option is for you to use TikTok to submit a job interview attire challenge video and the job interview itself. So dalawa yung videos na gagawin niyo sa TikTok. Okay, and then last one is we have in terms of your portfolio, since you are now more or less, I hope, prepared for your job interview now, please submit a copy of your career portfolio in PDF format, and this will help you prepare for your networking and interview. So yung career portfolio nyo, this should have been discussed sa inyong component B class meeting, and yung mga required mga items na dapat ma-include should have been discussed in your class meeting as well. And in terms of your cover letter and your resume, attach first the revised one and then the draft. So yung una nyo na sinubmit na may mga markings na ng coach ninyo if ever meron man. And then you also attach the revised one, yung na-edit na. Okay, so dapat dalawa yun siya for your cover letter and resume. So dapat 4 in total. And then submit it in a PDF format. So lahat ng components ng portfolio ninyo should be in PDF format. Okay, and then last one is for your culmination day. For your culmination day, it will be on March 15. That is a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. It will be at 1 o'clock p.m. and the link will be posted still on your Blackboard LMS. After the culmination day, you will have to submit a PDF file of a 100-word essay of your reflection on the said activity and of course, screenshots of the event. Again, beginning, middle, and end. So after the culmination day, last na talaga na requirement for CAED will be your reflection for that program. Okay, and other instructions for your culmination day will still be posted on your Blackboard. So please make sure to check your Blackboard every day in case merong mga announcements. Okay, so do we have any questions, clarifications in terms of our instructions for component C, or klaro ba lahat? Sige. Since wala namang nagtatanong, please make sure to contact lang or keep in touch with your component C coach so that if you have any questions, ma-answer lang din nila. And if you have no more questions as of the moment, then I guess that will be it for this morning. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in and listening. I hope you were able to learn something, and I hope that you were able to take away a lot of very important things when it comes to your job interview. So with that said, thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful morning. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye,
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, ma'am.
Oh, pretty, ma'am.